Hey guys, I'm Tiffany and welcome back to the Spellbound radio podcast. This is Paperback Writer and I have a special guest with me, Hope Mueller. So hi Hope and welcome back to Spellbound.
Hi, Tiffany. Thank you so much for having me. I really love it.
I know we're both blonde now. I think the last time we
I know.
talked, we were both brunette. So I love seeing the changes.
This is a
And
this
I'm
is a hide the gray blonde. That's what this
yeah,
is.
I'm totally there with you. Yeah. Well, guys, if you haven't met Hope yet, she is a rock star in the writing world, but also in her own world. And so Hope has had a very successful career, and she wrote about, her life story and her autobiography in her first book. And it's called Hopi. And so it's something that I collaborated with her through Spellbound. And then she, from that experience, formed her own publishing company, which is Hunter Street Press. And Hunter Street Press does good things and has a big give back. And through Hunter Street Press, Hope continued to publish more books. So she had a second book come out, and then she had a journal come out. And now she's had Brave Women at Work come out, which was a big collaboration of several powerful women authors. And we could talk about all of those projects and books individually, and we could talk about Hope as an inspiring person. And you can find her at hopi.net. But what I had Hope on to talk about today is that from her first book, right, from moving out, or like not out of, but from moving into the entrepreneurship that is being an author and launching your own publishing wing, she started her very own conference too. And so that is what I want to talk to you today about with Hope. So can you tell us a little bit about the vision and the dream of the conference, and then we'll get into some of the specifics.
Yeah, so we started Climb Conferences as a concept probably 2 or 3 years ago when you and I first started working together. But actually starting put pen to paper and money and effort behind the effort, the concept, Climb Conferences is out there to help leaders become who they want to be. You can be writers, you can be any industry that you want, but our inaugural event in February of this year will be a spa and writing retreat, and a super intimate setting, but we are launching. We are launching with an inaugural event. Our dream and our vision for Climb is to hold 2 or 3 retreat type of events annually, and 2 or 3, depends on how big it gets, full conferences, full leadership conferences. We are in Lake Las Vegas right now, and of course the big leadership conferences would be held in downtown Vegas, but that was literally part of the reason why we decided to move out to Nevada. We thought, it would be, great to have conferences out there. That's where everybody goes. Right now, there's a huge Amazon conference in downtown Las Vegas. And that wasn't the only reason, but it was one of the reasons. So we are getting those started, and we are really excited about this opportunity to invite women into this intimate space for this inaugural event in February.
Well, I think I'm your target person. I think I'm like your avatar. And so I could speak to reasons why I am excited about the event. I feel like as a busy person, right, as a business owner, it is hard to stop and write. And if you feel called and you feel pulled and you have a topic and you have expertise and you have leadership, but you don't create the space for it, another year goes by and another year goes by. And you could have easily let these 4 or 5 years go by and not gotten your books done, So if you felt that dream, really, February is the best time of year to be writing, right? Like you can't really do it. You think you're going to do it in the holidays and you can't. And then it's the new year and you're not quite into it and things are being planned. And so February, it's like when you have that zhuzh of energy coming for you. It's still a little bit chilly here in the States. I don't know about Lake Las Vegas, but it'll feel like the fresh new year. And to me, it's a time. I love to write in February and I love to write in July because it's 2 times where I can really unplug. And to write not in your home environment, not in your home office, not at your coffee shop is such a gift. And something I really appreciate about what you built into the conference schedule is time to write. Because a lot of times the conferences, you just get bombarded with information and you get excited and then you go home and you still don't have any time,
So well, to comment on that, two of those thoughts.
Yeah.
My first book was bopping around and I had it like 70% ready for a while. And I finally was like, I have to get it done. Right. So, and I put a line in the sand and I said, here's the year, right? This is the year I'm going to finish the book. Here is the year I'm going to launch the book. But if you don't sort of carve out that time and force yourself to say, okay, here's what I'm doing, it is really challenging. And like you said, 2, 3, 4 years can go by and you still don't have it. It's still just bopping around either 70% ready or just in your mind. So that's one, right? And secondly, the first writers conference I ever went to, it was completely packed, right? From 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. And then you had a dinner and there was no writing time. And I kept thinking, don't we have some time to write? Like I wanted to get real progress done on my project. So that's part of the reason why we designed it this way.
Well, I think it's ideal and the setting is beautiful. I mean, the hotel is stunning. The speakers are incredible. And I was hoping you could give us just a couple of nuggets about why this conference is like, you don't want to miss it. And go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, no. Yeah. So number one, it's a really curated, intimate setting. We are creating a first-class experience. You're going to have in situ spa services available, in situ medium services provided by Tiffany, which everyone loves, and her, her material is so amazing, and your followers are so, committed to, your work. But this intimate setting creates this opportunity for you to commune with powerful women, strong women who instantly become part of your network, who instantly become, cheerleaders for you, and they help you, they want to see you succeed. So they're going to help you with your project. They're going to help you with your marketing. All of a sudden, you just have created this space and this network because of the curated intimacy that we're putting together. So that's one. Secondly, we want everybody to walk away feeling rested, recharged, cared for, spoiled, right? We want you to feel, and not only that, we want you to walk away with progress on your project, right? So not only do you feel great that you've carved out this time, and you feel rested and cared for, but you're like, I got it in my hot little hand. Here's my real work. Right. And the other big benefit for this is, because it's our inaugural event, we're going to offer it at 40% discount from future pricing. We will learn a lot. The only thing that we ask for is for folks to be, patient and help us learn along the way and take a pretty big survey at the end. But those are some of the real reasons why I think the attendees will walk away, they'll benefit from the attendance.
Well, I'm going early and I'm staying late because I want to have all the time I can in that setting, looking out at those beautiful mesas and the beautiful pool and the beautiful desert environment. It's like there's room to breathe. And so personally, I'm looking as much forward to the space between as I am the actual conference. But I want you to talk a little bit about some of the topics. And so guys, if you're looking for this, you can go to hopi.net and you can go /climb and you'll see there's a climb tab on her website, and you'll see the dates are February 23rd through 25th. And you'll see a bunch of forms, like links you can click through. So there's the full conference schedule, there's a registration form, there's a spot to meet all of the speakers. So if you want to go in further and explore a little bit, but I want you, and like you had me at resort casual, like, okay, we're gonna wear resort casual. What even is that? Like, I don't know.
I don't even know. I just made it up.
I love it. I'm like, count me in for that. I'm gonna definitely have an
kind of like pajama panty feeling, like the white linen. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
White linen pants.
Well, I think it's great because what it does is it relaxes you. You're not like in a professional suit, like you're in a comfortable setting with comfortable clothes. You can sit down and knock stuff out and get gritty with people and granular with people who are in their element, who are in their prime with what they can help you with in terms of your book. But then you can also link off to your mediumship service or your spa service or get some rest. So let's talk about a couple of the topics that you're excited about. I'm just going to pull up the schedule so I can have it to ask. Let's see. So we've got a welcome reception. The first evening, and then the full day starts the next morning. There'll be a yoga or meditation kind of welcome. That's if you want to come type of a thing. You're going to offer the welcome and introductions. And then Jen Pesticas is going to do the first kind of talk. And so do you have some insight? Do you know what she's talking about yet?
So Jen is the founder and CEO of Brave Women at Work. She has an amazing platform. She offers a host of services, and Brave Women at Work is the book that we most recently published. Yay!
So pretty.
It is beautiful. It turned out incredible. But what she wants to talk about is why your story is important to share. And that's a lot of what she did when she came to the reason why she started Brave Women at Work. And we're putting these anthologies together where it gives that, an opportunity for several authors to just contribute a single chapter, which is great, especially if you're interested in writing and you don't, taking on a whole book, it's very different than just taking on a chapter and going along with a group of seasoned individuals who walk you through the process. But she wants to talk about why it's important to share your story. A lot of authors sometimes get, stuck inside. It's like, everybody's had their own story. My story's not that important. And she wants to share with everyone why it's important. You have a voice, you need to be heard. And we need these stories. We need these stories from powerful women. We want resilient women, confident women, folk, we need to share these stories because that's how we all get better and how we improve together. So that's what she's excited to share with everyone.
I got started in publishing with cookbooks, guys. And so I wrote 15 cookbooks, and I got a lot of people still contact me to publish cookbooks, which I'm glad to do. I've worked with Bon Appetit and Condé Nast, and I've done a lot of big, recipe development with people. And that's the number one question I get asked is like, well, why should I write a cookbook? There's all the recipes are out there. And I'm like, well, yours isn't, and your grandma's isn't, and your restaurant's isn't. And you know what I mean? And so I really believe that your individual story is very important because it's the only one that hasn't been written, and you're the only one that can do it. So we're getting a pep talk from Jen. She's very inspirational. And she has a beautiful podcast too, if you guys want to check out Brave Women at Work. It looks like we've got
and while you're looking up the next one, Tiff, I'll just plug more for Jen. So she not only and the conference, so we're also creating these opportunities for all of the attendees to spend 30 minutes one-on-one with the authors and with the speakers, if you want, to just get a small group session, have different, more intimate conversations. But immediately, every attendee who comes is immediately connected with the Brave Women at Work network, right? And she has a broad platform. She has a lot of connections. And, if you're in, all of those connections automatically become part of anybody who's an attendee.
Awesome. That's great. It's just this automatic win for you.
Yep.
So you're
it's
not
just a win just for showing up, right? Just show up and you automatically have a broad network that is completely plugged in with a really incredible platform, Brave Women at Work.
Okay, so that's what will be next. You'll be able to do an individual breakaway session. If you want to book like these 3-on-1s with one of the leadership people there, then you can do that.
Yep.
Then there will be a lunch and a book club discussion. Or have you already announced what the book is going to be?
No, I want to secure a number of attendees, a certain number of attendees, and then we'll announce the book. Again, book club discussion is completely optional. You can read the book and come and discuss it. You could not read the book and come and discuss it. You could not be part of it. But, as an author and as a writer, I know a lot of us read a ton. And I'm a mad fan of book clubs. So create that space and let's talk about a really interesting book.
Okay, perfect. Well, I can't wait to see what you pick, because you always have really good picks, and I love watching your social media, because I'm like, oh, what do I read next? I want to be like I want to inherit your library. When you do your secondhand library, I want to get all your hand-me-down books.
Well, we just moved and I had 45 boxes of books, and we donated 15, and I still have 30, and they're right there. But I got some shelving being built shortly, so I can actually start putting them away. So I have 30 books that I can share.
Okay, well,
30 awesome. Boxes of books, not
30 boxes. Yeah, I can't wait to see what you pick out for the book club, because I'll be really interested in that. I'll want to listen to it on my plane flight or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so that afternoon, I will be talking about the publishing landscape. And so this is really helpful, guys, because if you are writing and you don't know how you're going to publish your book, it feels futile, it feels hopeless, it feels like, why bother? I don't know what the next step is. And so whether you publish with somebody that is like this traditional publishing situation, or whether you publish independently with somebody like Hope, right? I will be able to tell you what the process looks like, and it'll ease your mind, and you'll be like hands-free, and you'll completely understand where your book stands, and how it's made, and how it's distributed, and all of the different pieces of print books, ebooks, audiobooks. Every question that you have. We have a wonderful new studio in Nashville that I've been working with for audiobooks. I have so many missing pieces for you that I'll just be able to answer everything that you ever wanted to know about the publishing industry and where your project might fit in. There's not a one-size-all way to do this. Every author is unique, and I'm such a, I guess, what's the right word, like supporter of authors, that I really want you to have a unique plan that works for your book. And so you can pick my brain, while I'm there and giving that lecture. It looks like Shalia is also speaking about storytelling that evening, and then there will be some free time for writing, a cocktail hour, and some dinner. And so can you tell us a little bit about Shalia?
Yeah, it's Sheila. And it's
sorry.
Sheila Higgs Burkhalter.
Thank you.
And she's in education, and her higher education, all of her students call her Shigs. So we've all started calling her Shigs.
I like it.
Fantastic. She's right here. The art of storytelling. So when she wrote her contributing chapter for Brave Women at Work, you could tell instantly she knows how to, she knows how to pull a reader in and tell a story with both personal anecdotes, but she's also, instructing, and you're learning along the way. So that's what she'll be sharing, is sort of how to weave in, your personal experiences. How do you sort of weave back and reflect, and what does that mean more broadly? How do you educate while you're telling your story? So she does an incredible job, and I was so excited about the way it came out. She is actually, because her contribution was so strong, we chose her to be the opening chapter for this first Brave Women at Work Lessons in Resilience. And I was so excited about how it formatted. I'm going to show you guys real quick. Because just it like fit perfectly. This opening paragraph, I don't know if you can see it, it's just one paragraph. Number one, it fits perfectly, and number two, it pulls the reader in. Like, as soon as you read it, you love her, you know her, and you want to finish reading her chapter. So she'll be great at being able to educate us on the art of storytelling.
That's amazing. One of my favorite challenges is that like first chapter, that first paragraph.
Yep.
And that when I'm buying a book, I do look at the back cover, but I don't really care as much about the back cover as I do the first paragraph.
Yep.
And I also open the book anywhere. And if I like don't want to keep reading it,
Yep.
I'm not going to buy it. And so those strategies and techniques and tips will really help, especially if you're a first time writer, to understand how to use some of those storytelling strategies. So I'm excited to hear what she has to say too.
Yep.
Day two, kind of same thing. We've got some yoga meditation if you want, some breakfast. And then we're going to have a session about lessons in confidence. There's going to be some author success stories from Leanne Werner. Do you want to talk about Leanne for a little bit?
Yeah, so Leanne has published 2 books, and they are based off of her own story, a memoir, but she's written them as fiction works, and she has done incredibly well for herself. So she's going to share her publishing journey and her success story and how did she achieve some of those things. So any author could come along and learn from what she did in order to, are these things that they can copy and what works for them, what doesn't work for them. But she's done an incredible job putting those 2 pieces out.
Okay. All right. So we're going to learn from Leanne. There will be lunch. There will be time to do some author readings if you want to share some of your work and get some feedback and be really vulnerable and brave, right? Sometimes that's the worst, reading your stuff out loud, but then it helps you. It refines your voice like nothing else if you'll just jump off the diving board and do it. And speaking of the diving board, another of my favorite pieces about your schedule here is that there is a casual swim and it goes from 5 to 10, which means that we're going to be able to see the stars and we're going to be able to, maybe there's I just really appreciate ending a conference in a relaxing way and celebrating all of the progress that has been made. So did I miss any of the highlights? Is there anything else?
No, I mean, we'll close before that. The open house will be completely optional. But we want to invite everybody, we want pizza, beer, super laid back, swim, just want to, again, in the conference. And I'll just talk real quick on those author readings. So again, the first few, writing retreats that I have been to, that author reading at, near the end of the retreat was some of the most powerful things I've ever gotten to witness and to do. So making sure to give everyone those space where that they can share either what they've composed previously or something they've, composed while they've been here. Love hearing those firsthand. And it's great practice. It's great practice when you launch your book and you have to read your chapters out loud to people. So it's great practice also.
I'm going to do it. So I'm going to read some from my current work and I'm really excited to hear what other people have to say too. So,
that's great.
Well, thank you for sharing some of your time with me, talking about this amazing launch event. And this is so cool, guys. I hope you can be inspired from, Hope went from 1 book to 4 books to leadership conference to publishing house to publishing for other people. And you don't have to do it that way, right? Like you could do it there's many paths in publishing, but I just want you to see what's possible because she started with a Word document just like you have. And she started with a busy schedule just like you have. Hope is a mom of 4. She has a full-time career. She's a dedicated wife and she's a really good friend. And she can still do this, so I hope you can see yourself in her in some way and say, wow, this is for me. I can do this. I can set aside this time for my calling. Right. And so if this speaks to you, we just can't wait to help you unravel the mysteries that are tangling you up because there is a path forward and it is possible. And you can leave with a really awesome first chapter. All right. Well, thank you again, Hope.
Thank you. Contact me if you have any questions. Excited to hear from all of your listeners.
Yes, I can't wait to see who's going to be there. So
I know,
we'll see you guys in Lake Las Vegas in February.
I know, it's going to be gorgeous. It is gorgeous.
It is gorgeous. It's stunning. I can't wait to come hang out.
All right.
So, Thanks,
All
Hope.
right. Well, thank you so much for your time.
All right,
Bye.
bye.